Hey everybody, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here, and sorry for no video or podcast on Monday. I basically got delayed at Chicago O'Hare because it's freezing in Chicago right now. Glad to be gone and traveling for that moment. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we are talking about Chinese intelligence because in Chinese intelligence news, they love Apple AirDrop. Now, I read a whole bunch of articles on this. It's fascinating, but Dan Gooden of Ars Technica had a good write-up, so I'm cribbing a little bit from him here. Now, here's what's going on. Chinese authorities basically said that they're using now an advanced encryption attack to essentially de-anonymize users in China that are using AirDrop, essentially to distribute information that is outlawed in the area. Now, if you don't know Apple AirDrop, if you're in proximity and somebody else has AirDrop on and you have AirDrop on in your iPhone, you can move things to their to their phone or vice versa. Now, here's a backdrop of what is going on and why this is important. According to a 2022 report from the New York Times, activists are using AirDrop essentially to distribute scathing material, basically critiques of the Communist Party, to nearby iPhones on users in subways and other locations. Now, basically, this document that one protester sent in October of that year called General Secretary Xi Jinping, the leader of China, a, quote, despotic traitor, end quote. That is outlawed. If you recall, President Xi also essentially outlawed Winnie the Pooh because there were comparisons to him versus Winnie the Pooh, and yeah, he kind of does look like him. Anyway, a few months later than that, with the release of iOS 16.11, the AirDrop users in China found that the everyone configuration, the setting that makes these files available to all users nearby, was reset to basically the more limited contacts only setting, and Apple, for the record, has yet to acknowledge that move. Critics continue to see that as a concession that Apple made essentially to Chinese authorities, specifically targeting Tim Cook on that, and yeah, he's running the show. Now, basically, a week ago Monday, 8 months after this half measure was put in place, officials with the local government in Beijing said that some people have continued mass sending illegal content. Now, as a result of that, officials said they are now using an advanced technique to basically fight this issue. Now, this advanced technique was publicly disclosed in 2021, and so according to official translations, because again, this is all in China, and this is being translated, and I quote, "Some people reported that their iPhones received a video with inappropriate remarks in the Beijing subway. After preliminary investigation, the police found that the subject used the AirDrop function of the iPhone to anonymously spread the inappropriate information of public places. Due to the anonymity and difficulty of tracking AirDrop, some netizens have begun to imitate this behavior," end quote. So in response to that, basically they've implemented technical measures to start identifying these people. Now, all the translations, regarding this from Chinese to English have said that it involves the use of what are known as rainbow tables to essentially defeat the technical measures that AirDrop has to obfuscate things like users' phone numbers and email addresses. Rainbow tables, for the record, this goes back quite a ways to 1980, is essentially a way, it's a concept of reducing the time that it would take from the huge amount of time and computational resources you would need to crack various types of encryption methodologies. So using the brute force method would take forever, but using rainbow tables is one way to basically narrow that down for faster time and less resources. So when AirDrop is configured to distribute files to each other, only between people that know each other, this is according to Apple, they say that they rely heavily on hashes. That's basically taking like a password and scrambling it with letters and numbers, etc. They rely on hashes to conceal the real-world identities of each party until the service determines that there's actually a match. Specifically, AirDrop broadcasts through Bluetooth advertisements that contain partial cryptographic hashes of the sender's phone number and or email. So if they're able to capture that and then basically run cracking against that using things like ribbon tables, they would be able to reveal who essentially sent all of this information. The point is that I think it's twofold. One, obviously, when Apple claims all this wonderful encryption, if this is an issue and continues to be an issue, or they've continued to keep this weak, knowing that the Chinese government wants it to be weakened so that they can go after these AirDrop users, that's a huge problem any way you cut it. The second side of it is, this is why I hate things like near field communication or AirDrop, because why on earth would I want anybody that I don't know in public around me, or even a friend, to attach to my phone to be able to transfer files? Maybe those files are infected. So understand that I think that the twofold issue here is, one, the Chinese government obviously is a huge surveillance, state and all of that, and I feel bad for those people that are getting hashed, and God forbid Apple is intentionally keeping this encryption weakened. And to be fair, RSA was caught doing that for the NSA about 10 years ago. My other concern obviously is then why on earth would you have AirDrop open? What is so important that a stranger would have to give it to you? And we saw a rash of basically people sending pics of their exposed parts here in AirDrop when it first came out. So I just don't get the technology. I don't get why you would want to share. And if you did, let's say with somebody legitimate that you knew, then turn it on. It should be kept off the entire time you've got the phone. If you're keeping this on, you're going to be subjected to random exposed pics, or maybe anti-communist Chinese propaganda, or critiques, or whatever you want to call it. So there you go. That's your news of the day. I thought that was interesting. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and hopefully I'll be sending another video tomorrow, but given the travel schedule, I may not be able to do another video or podcast, and I apologize for that, but such is a life on the road. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please remember to stay private. Thanks, everybody.